So the end of Oak Street is the last blockbuster of the summer, and I think it's interesting that after over 30 years, it took the director of It Follows to make the best dinosaur movie since Jurassic Park. And I think a lot of it goes to David Robert Mitchell being able to capture this classic tension that you would see in a Spielberg movie, that you would see in Jurassic Park more specifically. These moments that have a lot of anticipation with what's going to happen rather than just relying on cheap jump scares or just an action set piece. And there's quite a few shots in this film that very much hearkening to something like It Follows, where David Robert Mitchell, the composition of a shot, there's tension through the dramatic irony because you get to see danger, you get to see something that the other characters don't see, and you're kind of hoping that they'll notice in the last moment. And also, like the movie It Follows, David Robert Mitchell does also have a knack for character drama. And in this film, you really buy into the character dynamics. You really start to care as the film goes on about these characters, and you want to see them get out of this. And especially the performances. Ewan McGregor, Anne Hathaway are obviously going to be great, but you have some fantastic child performances as well. And a lot of reviews are going to touch on this, but there is something to be said about this movie going for old school storytelling and filmmaking, hearkening back to the types of movies that we say they don't make them like they used to. And this movie captures the vibe of those classic films very well, while also being familiar, as can be expected. I think this film does take a bit to get going, and even when it does get going, there's moments that do come off as been there, done that. But I think that as a whole, what this film does with the story, with its characters, I found it ultimately very satisfying. I had a great time with this movie. I'm going to give The End of Oak Street an A-.